All right, hello everybody, welcome back. We have another VOD review. Today's our first Torch VOD review. So let's see what they say. The human cooldown. So this game, I was stacked. I'm finding myself caught up trying to make perfect pyro prisons and going too hard for picks on the supports, putting myself in a bad position. I'm also unsure if my ults are being utilized effectively. What I want to work on, identifying better positioning during team fights, and when or when not to commit to picks. All right. Where your head's at. Good stuff. Let's get to it. Torch is weird. I did some studying for this, watched some videos, learned some stuff. He's a goofy character and he plays unlike all the other DPS for sure.
I'm clocking some bad guys.
Hey, what's up, Lou? So I'm already noticing we're a bit too far back. Oh, he dead? Oh, he living. I want to see something real quick.
Mission area is yours to capture now. That one hurts.
Okay, so first of all with Torch is I want to be careful how I say this. He's kind of like Angela in that he's both an opportunist and he works to force the enemy team into a bad position and create opportunities for himself and his team, right? And so when you see something like this, where we still have some cooldowns and we have a thing like in our backline, this should just be like insta right click F, right? So since we're not doing that, I feel like we're not comfortable with where our damages and our breakdowns, right? The next thing I'm seeing, I'm not seeing... Oh, and then we jump there? I feel like we realized it, maybe just a little too late, and then tried to get it anyway. I like the melees while we're moving for hitbox manipulation. That's good. How do you reconcile the fact that F is on a 20-second cooldown? So basically, what you do with that is you have to... It's a combination of everything. You have to look at like what F is for, right? And there's two main uses for your F. Number one is to secure a kill, right? If you can secure a kill and not get yourself killed in the process, then I would say that's a very good use of the cooldown. Then 20 seconds, totally justified, right? Because then if you secure a kill and your team doesn't die, now you're fighting 5v6, or sorry, 6v5. You're fighting 6v5 for at least 15 seconds. Maybe more, maybe slightly less, depending on the character you kill, right? So I'd say that's a completely worthy trade. So that's why over here, I'm like, oh, this is a great opportunity because you have a thing in your backline, right? If you F down here, you're not going straight into the enemy team. It's very unlikely that you die here. And very high chance that you secure a kill. So that's where it's worth it. The second option is if you're going for kind of a risky play, risky positioning, your F is your movement ability to get back out, right? And so, you kind of have to like keep in mind and work with your positioning and with your teams and look for opportunities. So, does that make sense? Hello, how's it going, Kappa? All right, so this is something that I want to talk about right now just to start with, because Torch, with most DPS are going to play with their team. They're going to secure picks. They're going to get kills. They're going to put some damage pressure. Torch doesn't really work like that. Torch is all about like area denial, basically. And the way you use area denial can be very multifaceted. So when we go over here, right? Let's start from the very beginning of this fight. So we're over here, and we start off not bad, right? We put a torch, what do we call these? Put a fireball, maybe fireball. What's up, Rob? So when we put a fireball out here, we're saying anybody who wants to take point is going to have to take damage to do so, which is great. This is like kind of this is area denial and forcing the enemy to either take damage to go through or not go through at all, right? And this is what I really want you to focus on as Torch, which is also why Torch is such a difficult character for people to like grasp, because it's more of like a tank. It's more of a tank mentality than a DPS mentality. Like I said, DPS mentality is like, I'm going to get some kills. I'm going to go like do damage. I'm going to get picks. Whereas Torch is more like, I'm going to control space. And then at the end of a fight, I'm going to secure kills and like finish people off. Right? So when you do this, now we're talking about like map dynamics and team dynamics and tank, right? Because right now, what do you want to control? You want to control the point, okay? So if we go over here early and we say, if you guys want to walk through here, you're going to take a ton of damage. Like that's what Torch excels at. So that's very top down, not very practical level, but that's what I want you to get in the mindset of Torch, is basically making it like, okay, what space am I going to make it difficult, right? The second thing is our positioning, which is really dictated by that ability of Torch. Now I want to read exactly what you said because you're in chat. I have to recognize the time you use it. I've been burnt using my F and getting caught out with like 4 seconds left. Yeah, it's tough. And then you have to play around not having your F anymore, which it looks like you're doing pretty well here. Healed up a little bit. Okay, so now we're in neutral. We're not exactly in neutral, right? But neither team has a numbers advantage, so now we're just trying to retake the point. So what I want you to be doing as Torch here is making it uncomfortable for the supports to stand in a spot where they can help the tanks, right? So you have a enemy Strange here in your face, right? The best way you can actually pressure this Strange is making it to where the line of sight for the supports is gone, right? So from your perspective here, let me get out my drawing tools. All right, so the enemy team, right, we have supports here and supports here, and they get to see your tank. So what you want to do is you want to force them back out, through, away. Good Lord, that's a lot of words. You want to force them to a spot where they can't see their tank, right? That's basically the simplicity of Torch and area control. Because if you throw your cooldowns, right? If you throw your cooldowns here, here, and maybe here, right? And then create the prison here. Now, if they stand in this area, they're going to take damage, right? And so they have two options. They can either back up, which is probably what this cloak will do. They're going to back up over here around cover, or this invis is either going to back this way or this way. If they go this way, that's great for your team, right? You want an invis standing here because now, let's see. Now, now your mag can see them. Your Strange can see them. Your Jeff can spray them. Your Squirrel can accidentally hit them, right? So like that's how I want you thinking. I don't mind this as much. I do really like, as Jake said, I like that you're close to the ground and we're close to people. Because Torch doesn't have much range anymore. So here we kind of use F kind of unnecessarily. So I see that we're taking damage. Well, yeah, that's fair. No, that's fine.
By the
Good. Oh, this should be a... yeah. You don't have it? Nice. Good. Not bad so far. Would Torch need to say it around Iron Beam distance or not? So Torch doesn't have... The weird part with Torch is he moves around a lot, and he needs to be moving around a lot. So sometimes he's going to be closer, sometimes he's going to be farther, and he's going to be moving in between that. And his cooldowns dictate that, right? The primary is so wonky sometimes. It really is, yeah. Now, I'm sure you know this. I'm sure you know this, but you can also like animation cancel the primary fire and you want to be throwing in like the quick melees in between. Don't have to practice it more. Yeah, it should just be a habit. I have it on my mouse button. I have quick melee on my mouse button. So after every time you left click, you can just quick melee. And it should be, it's something you really need to get down. Now, again, we want to talk about area denial, right? So we used 3 of our right clicks and we used our E to link a bonfire, right? We linked the prison, sure, over here. Is it just not showing it? It's just not showing it, right?
That one hurts.
Yeah. So what's the point of this? The point of this, again, is area control. But there's nobody here yet, right? So it's kind of just wasted. What I'd prefer you do is to like get into a good aggressive position here and then be ready for it. And like, I'd do it right about now. Because here you can actually cut off, right? If you throw this here, they can't push forward, because if they push forward, now they're going to, again, be out of line of sight of theirs. Instead, we're kind of over here, like, not doing too much. You want to treat it like a Moon Knight ult? Yeah, kind of. That's kind of, yeah. So that's a great way to do it. I think you actually do it here.
A nice deep freeze.
I'm clocking some bad
Disappear.
Yeah, you actually do it here. And it works exactly as intended. So, good stuff. Oh, go get close. Get close, get close. Ah, that's bad. Okay, so we actually do a good job here. We've already forced out 2 support ults, right? Because I think the cloak ulted in response to our ult. Yeah, they did. I would assume so. And so since they did, now it's recognition of like, this is, again, it's like tank, right? This is more like tank gameplay, where you realize your threat, right? Your threat is, if you enter this area, I will kill you, right? I tried to F cloak out of ult. That's not really... The only time you can do that is if you have damage boost, right? You have Luna, Rocket, maybe Mantis. Yeah. That's a really bad habit. Oh, get her? Oh, you got her! You made the best of it.
Back to the ashes.
Okay. Just get out. I think with 3 flame pools and slam it at one-shots, technically yes, but at the same time, you're not playing against a chess piece that can't move, right? Like, you're relying on them to stand within range of 3 things and then get the F down, right? So, like, I mean, maybe if you can get that consistently, sure. I just have a hard time believing that you can. On the choke? Probably not. I would have predicted where they go off the force dash. Yeah. So instead of With the cloak, ulting would have been best to stack the flame tornadoes on the choke. I don't think so. I would more use the time to like back up and reposition and get ready for the next like ingredient. Personally. Nice, we killed the Ultron.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Oh, get to the healing. Giant healing pool. Okay, great. Anyway.
Ooh, that felt nice.
Nice.
That's squirrel power. Control loss.
Torch doesn't like water. Fair enough. Fair enough. It just goes for the water bubble instead of the water pool. Yeah, I feel like you're just using that E. You're using it preemptively. I don't want to see it as preemptive.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Oh, perfect. Yo, let's go. Oh. All right. So let's look back. They have an Ultron Hulk. How come this didn't work? That's my question. Because right, the combo is you do a tiny bit of damage because it's not gonna one shot, and then you right click twice, and then you F. We right click 3 times and it doesn't work. You have to start playing again. So maybe we watch this from closer. Missed the first pool. Oh, is that all it was? Is it because of the stairs? Right here. Oh, it's because of the bubble. I think that's what it is. She's getting healing from her bubble. Like you see the damage come in, damage comes in, and it does, but it just out heals it. Interesting. Okay. So maybe from that we learn to be careful with the bubble. Yeah.
Still burning bright, baby.
So part of just this game with any character that works like this, any character that has combos that you're supposed to use to secure kills. So this works for Hulk, Magic, Psylocke, Torch, I'm trying to think of others. Spidey, right? Any character that has combos that you use to secure kills, you have to have a really good knowledge of like specific characters that you're trying to use the combos against and things that they can do against it, right? So if you're playing Emma and you know that if somebody is like just below full health and you go into diamond form, you can grab them, hit them twice, kick them into a wall and kill them, right? Unfortunately, if you're doing that against a magic, they have to be much lower because the magic can spam portal and then get out of your kick. If you're doing it against there's a couple other characters that do that, right? So for Torch, I would assume the same thing goes, right? So obviously magic can portal, probably not actually against Torch. So you might be okay with that one. Now we know Cloak can bubble. Let's see. Who else has defense? Invis. Invis can shield herself and probably stop some of the damage as well as heal herself, right? So we'll add Cloak into that. So this also, once you start thinking that way as well, then you can start thinking about forcing out the bubble, or if you notice, so that's kind of like the opportunist we talked about. If you notice, hey, Cloak doesn't have her bubble, now I can probably get it for free. We have her ult. Oh. Okay, first of all, we're on advanced speed, so hang on. You guys whiffing left click over.
Still burning bright, baby. Yummy. So hot.
Relax, cheek. Fighting it.
So what's the...
Winner.
So hot.
Relax, cheek.
Yeah, you kind of... There's just no reason to be right here, right? Like, again, if we're thinking about area denial, specifically with our ult, right? You can do this from far away. You want to force people into a spot where they're uncomfortable standing, or just kill them for standing here. Wanted a touch for OT. That's fair. So for OT, just so you guys know how this works, as long as somebody touches the point in the last 3%, it will trigger overtime, right? So you can actually run in, touch, and get out, and it will trigger overtime. So now we know what you should have done here is I touched at 97, so we're fine. I got a kill. Let me get out. And then you can keep going. And then you can touch at the last second once the OT ticks down. So that's general knowledge. Back? Maybe?
Dodge this.
Okay. Oh. I mean, I'm not gonna nitpick this too much because it's overtime and we're kind of already lost.
Anyone want a selfie with me?
Okay.
No? Tough crowd.
Yeah. That's like overtime. That's... A lot of the times with overtime, it is very important, but not right now. I don't know if that makes sense.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
By the eye
Ah!
of Agamotto.
Okay. Alright, so there's a lot here. Basically, you're not going to 1v1 a Strange unless you're far away, right? So here, it's like, okay, why is a Strange here? The first thing that I was thinking is like, oh, I need to call out that they don't have a tank on point and we should push point, right? I'm like, yo, there's a Strange over here. Push point, push point. The second thing is, why is a Strange over here? Because he has it, right? That's not really Torch specific things. That's just kind of recognizing what other characters want. Nice.
I've heard dried squid is a tasty treat.
Yeah, our team died, so let's just kind of get out. They made a good play. Nice. Definitely get out, though.
They're ahead of us. Dodge.
I like this. This is good. This is great. Yeah, a little bit of mechanics there. We normally don't talk too much about mechanics because I think it's kind of something everybody understands. If you're trying to climb in a game like this, you do have to practice your mechanics well.
Anyone willing to help?
I like this. This is good. Now, what's the plan here? Dope. Good stuff. I love everything about that. You went back and you took an off angle. You didn't just start attacking, though. You looked around. You checked where everything was. And then you set it up. And then since they stayed, secure 2 kills. Perfect.
Wild creatures have risen from the realm below.
Dr. Strange is gone? How?
Uh-oh. Bro, press X. This is called being stubborn. This is being stubborn. It's like, okay, this is a losing matchup for you, even if he's at 1 health. Like, just...
Control lost.
Yeah.
A commendable effort.
Like, it's also just a part of, like, being a DPS, is reining in the ego of, like, yo, I already got 2 kills, I got a ton of value, like, let other people go in. I was riding that high. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Don't step on lava.
Let me guess. Your name on
Nice.
ready to put on a show.
Great, you forced out a Luna ult, and now they have to, like, use the first couple parts of Luna ult, just getting there. Good. Now I'm thinking, okay, I have 2 options. I'm either going to kill the Luna when her ult goes out, or focus on the cloak and force her out, pull her ult. Hey, we go for the Luna kill. Fair enough.
By the eye,
Oh.
Agamotto.
Nice. We go down into the cloak.
Your team's
Melee weave. You want to throw in melee weaves.
waypoint.
That is really important. Okay, so our positioning really kind of goes out the window every time we try to get a kill. It's really important as Torch to make sure that you value your life as well, but also, like, if you're too close to the ground, you can't use your F, right? Like, if you realize that and just get a little bit higher up, you secure the kill on cloak and probably not die.
Let's light this candle.
Oof.
Our enemies are near.
They've almost got it.
I think I was still close to the ground, not realizing cloak ult dissipated. Ah, gotcha. Okay, so do you have a good sense of, like, how long support ults are? Lack of awareness? Yeah.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Ooh, that felt nice.
Feel the pull.
Rushed it. That's just rushing.
Agamotto.
Tastes like chicken.
I think I just get too into the team fight and lose all sense of CD tracking. I think it's less cooldown tracking and it's more positioning.
It's almost yours.
A lot of the times, like, when you're in a team fight, you're, like, in there. You don't use cover. You're not, like, paying attention to other stuff going on.
They've got the numbers on us.
And, like, Torch,
I'm clocking the bad guys.
gonna have to now get out. Now get out.
We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Yeah. I mean, you bought your team overtime. So good on you. And then your team walks off. Unfortunate. So, yeah. I'd say, like, the number one thing I'm seeing is just, like, kind of calm down, like, cool off, right? When you're the 2 most important things for Torch is understanding where you need to stand and where the enemy team needs to stand, right? And then you manipulate those 2 to work together, right? So you need to stay back and like stay by cover and look and see, okay, the enemy supports are here. The enemy tanks are here. I need to cut off the enemy supports from being able to comfortably heal their tanks. And then by that, create a ton of pressure, right? And so you can't really do that like super close brawling because you will die too quickly, right? So we have to be like paying attention to that. And we can't die too early, and we also can't be so close that we lose sight of who we're trying to pressure, right? Better recognition of engage windows, yeah. And like for really, good lord, words are so hard today. But yeah, you need to just be able to take that step back and like realize what everybody else wants, right? Because like Torch is probably one of the best DPS at just kind of area denial. He works more like a tank. Like if you want to stand in this area, I'm going to punish you for it. And so if tanks are fighting out in the open, it's like, all right, I'm going to farm my ult and I'm going to use my ult on your supports. If supports are in a weird area, it's like, I'm going to cut off the supports and then we can just go kill tanks because they're not going to have line of sight, right? And then with that comes along the positioning of like, while I'm doing it, I'm going to use cover. I'm going to be in a close enough range to where my damage is threatening, but not too close to where I'm going to die. And I'm just going to be an annoyance. Constant annoyance. So. Yeah. How does that sound? Does that sound accurate? You have any questions? Starting to play him more. He's actually much more complicated than I originally thought. Yeah, he's difficult. Like, not only are his cooldowns complicated, but his positioning is complicated, and his target priority is very complicated. It keep saying it goes along tank lines more than DPS. Yes, thank you. All right, perfect. That's it for this YouTube video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. God bless. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.